play out. GODSENT will be taking on the big side in our opening map up of Nuke. Big's map pick, the curveball thrown away the Brazilians. Let's see if it's the curveball that it will pay off. Pistols going live with GODSENT on the CT starts.
GODSENT ranked 15th in the event for their pistol win percentage at just 40%. They'd love to be able to change that narrative out there on the CT side. Smoke to come through from the outside position. Try and see if they can get down secret.
Henny's tapping on alongside bartEN, completely blind, finding tabseN, tabseN, and faveN will also get tagged down. syrsoN next to fall as bartEN continues hunting. We'll take a double up. Finally, tabseN in with a decent responsive. That P250 overwhelmed by dumau's headshot to return. So a 4v2 for the GODSENT start.
Yeah, check out the confidence there for GODSENT. Even when they got a couple of opening picks, they kept fighting. They keep having that ferocious attitude of let's keep getting the advantage forward. Let's put that pressure on. And now that's filtered big back from that outside position to regain lobby and go back into an upper play.
No one directly on the bomb site itself either. bartEN can lean in and try hunt these players down from heaven. He will be playing Overwatch. faveN leans up, checks out that mini position. Should also check out the open vent corner. Realize that nobody's here. Bomb plant could be secured, or they could try diving down into the B side. That might be a better option because there's nobody there as well.
There's a couple of ramp players that could be quick on rotation, and that sound cue is going to come through. bartEN's going to be able to relay that over to his teammates, and now you can see Henny already on the move.
Fast rotates, he taps forward, Henny can't quite connect the headshot, so the bomb should go down. Krimbo not seen at the ramp, he gets Taco as a result, and faveN catches Henny looking the wrong way, so a 2 versus 2. Big have brought the situation back, and Krimbo is just hunting for information. Where are these guys? Where are bartEN and dumau coming in from? It's the right-hand doorway, it's Krimbo strikes from dumau, try to pick up the next player, bartEN, Minnow, a trade back, a trade K for the man, a 1 versus 1. Looking for faveN, the back lines of the B site must recognize that he's out there seeing the shoulder and getting him tagged up. faveN sees him in the dark now, trying to play against the position, trying to hide as much hard cover as possible and swing out to the right to get his headshot and win the pistol clutch for Big.
And that comes down to the youngsters, the two newest additions there for Big to recover that round. faveN and Krimbo doing fantastically in the 2v4, playing off one another, getting that bomb plant down as that security factor. And then even for Krimbo, he plays aggressive, his teammate plays back passive. They're peaking together as a unit, the over-aggressive duels come through. And for GODSENT, they would have felt as if we didn't quite all play as a unit. Instead, 2 players went aggressive, and then the next 2 went, rather than all 4 playing together.
The wonderful coordination of the bait and switch there between the last 2, the Big side. Well done from them. Krimbo getting 2 kills to start things off in this matchup. An encouraging sign for a player that, again, has been relatively underwhelming. tabseN leaning forward, trying to catch Taco, and that's not an underwhelming shot. Straight to the head, tabseN first to fall.
Yeah, he's first in this entire event for damage per round. He has been on point when it comes to some of the numbers being posted and that impact. So take rid of the big player very early on, get that pick towards outside, and now you start to flourish with the map control to work with down at Hell.
Working against Taco, whose Deagle is going to get caught back off by tabseN, so the refrag is on for the player. 4 versus 3. Meanwhile, the CTs are pushing in towards lobby, and bartEN has found nothing, as is latto, the SMG and Deagle combination. Not seeing anything over on the T half of the map. dumau seeing nothing downstairs. So there can only really be one option. In Hell, in ramp, potentially up towards heaven. Could also dive to that B site at the same time.
Now, this has surely got to be a save call unless GODSENT can find a multi-frag somewhere. Ramp is being exposed. They're going to bring that bomb down into lower, regroup with the secret players. And for the defense, it's only dumau who's playing here at double doors. His other 2 teammates are still stuck in lobby at topside.
Leaning in with that hand cannon, hoping you can see a head or 2. Might catch a couple over on Krimbo. Indeed, the headshot is found against that man. 3 versus 3. tabseN also being seen. Not quite as accurate with that adjustment. The SMG of bartEN will wrap back out towards the ramp room as tabseN tries to hunt dumau down. The nades under the double doors will cut it open for permanent. Sees dumau. Lands another headshot. Suddenly, GODSENT are the ones in control. A 3v2 scenario. Flash is going over syrsoN, trying to hunt for this player in the observation room. Not checking the angle, the headshot adjustment comes forward for the Deagle instead, alongside a kill from latto on the center of the site, and dumau becomes the hero, a triple to his name, and a quick return from GODSENT.
Oh, what a sequence! When you think about the expectations there for dumau, he needs to hold his weight, needs to deliver in a big attitude to allow that recovery to come through, and he does exactly that. Just pinpoint precision with that Deagle, a lot of impressive shots coming through, and this is what we expect from him, the highest rated player on the team in the last 3 months, one of the best performers that we've seen from them in the group stage so far, and with his support coming through late on that ramp position, he held it by himself.
Did a wonderful job, so guns in from GODSENT, a couple of rifles saved in, the Galils in particular, the AK out for dumau, and well earned for his own part. 2 M4s for taco and latto, being the only major investment in this round. Across both teams as well, Big are going half eco here.
Just knowing the fact that you're able to get the money in a position where you can lightly eco, get those rifles down into the next, and think about where you can really maximize with the pressure. And GODSENT will be thinking about how they need to play out and use their protocols in a round like this, because realistically, with the light upgrades, you shouldn't be losing to any of these fights.
Leaning away for the time being. Just hunting for something on the outside of the ramp room entrance. Thinking there might be a T-side player there, and he's right to assume so. While the big side are working on actual outside, down in from secret. 3 players, including that bomb, trying to work into the B side. dumau's giving the footsteps, trying to see if he can catch them off guard. Turns on the 1 player in Decon and gets the second as well. Dropping the bomb, that should be round over.
Yeah, players down towards this lower position. faveN needs to really try and engage into another fight to recover that bomb. That's dumau dealt with. If they can get another, they can try and get the bomb down, and latto struggles against the Glock.
Barn to return back onto Krimbo, 3 versus 2. faveN still alive in this exchange, and syrsoN waiting in a hell, hoping that Bartin makes a mistake. Bomb on faveN's back as well, so we can make his way back up from the vents if they want to commit towards this. It's all a case of timing for syrsoN's kill. Bartin has made noise, so he knows that he's up here in heaven. Might be watching out the center of the site with faveN playing distraction. Now it's a chance for syrsoN to strike. Bartin has absolutely no idea, so once again, Bigger brought in the 2 versus 2 and at least get a bomb plant.
Oh my goodness, what an excellent round this has been from Big. And now in the post plant, they've got a Galil to work with. This is still very winnable.
syrsoN wrapping over. faveN's going to have to try and play central site defensive. No, he's going to join his teammate, and they could play the ultimate plays in this one. Big brain stuff. Patience is a virtue for them. Incendiaries on site, though. GODSENT are not acting, and this plays right into Big's hands. syrsoN just slow walking his way up for a second flank in from heaven in a single round. Henny has absolutely no idea. Spray through, kill found. Taco is on the site, but recognizing he's got no chance to fight in, he has no idea about the second player, so he'll fall back and save it. What a steal for Big.
I'm lost for words. I really am there. That is an absolute miracle. They had 4 Glocks and 1 Deagle. No util, no armor. That is one hell of a round. And for Big, that's a steal that you could just never expect. There were so many rifles in play for GODSENT. That's heartbreaking for the Brazilians.
But morale boosting for Big. 2-1 to the board, and again, nothing invested into that previous round. So getting the round win itself going to cripple the CT side. Of course, a lot of rifles saved from the previous, so they can afford some amount of a buy, but only 3 rifles, one of which is a scout and another of which is a FAMAS. Not ideal compared to Big's full buy, including the AWP out for syrsoN in the first time here in this matchup. tabseN leaning forward to the outside, the smokes down ahead of the mini cross. Nothing that latto can do other than listen to the footsteps and just pray that they're not going to flank him.
A lot of this garage control being gained again by Big, and we've seen it in the previous rounds where they've had weapons to work with. They like taking a lot of deep map control, making it uneasy for GODSENT to get the read. Taco's still playing out towards a squeaky door position, going to get another resmoke from one of his teammates. But this wrap outside, no one's really aware of it.
Play their way forwards as latto, position with the Eagle, Bartin up in heaven, leaning towards the outside. Must be aware that the Big clan have made their way towards this position. tabseN in particular, I set on that entrance. Bartin will not make a move out of the doorway. He's going to wait for the T's to come to him.
Henny's going back and forth, looking at the hell position and at the entrance of ramp, just because they know we're not peeking outside. We actually don't have this information, and with 35 odd seconds left on the clock, they can just go up heaven and split in towards an A-take.
All a case of timing on Henny's part. He's watching both entries. They might actually split in towards the B side. Oh, the scout turns away at the wrong moment. Still will get caught off. Doing some tag damage towards tabseN. Bartin can finish off Krimbo, but tabseN with a very fast responsive. A 4 versus 3 now for Big. But 2 players in the lower side. 15 seconds. They have to try and make their moves in. Taco will try stall for as much time as possible. And dumau with it all to do. Gets a quick headshot back to a 2v2. These rounds have come down to the wire. The bomb will be secured. latto could deny though against Tizian. syrsoN responds, and dumau's just got to hold on to his lifeline. Steal for steal, back and forth, 2 rounds apiece. What is going on?
This is such a scrappy affair from both of these teams. And even for GODSENT, while there was a slight hindrance with the timing towards ramp, the read was there. For them to be able to recover a 3v4 position, have 2 players down on that lower bomb side, Big's running into the stack in that sort of situation and being drawn away so far back deep with that M4, the Deagle coming up close, the bomb denial with the swing out from single door, and GODSENT have now stolen a round.
Big down to their own force by once again. This time they're the ones on 2 rifles, an AWP and an AK to their credit. There's still 3 Deagles to back it all up, as the last handful of rounds have proven that doesn't make much of a factor for both Big or GODSENT. So this could easily be a big round if they just find the right shots at the right times. Dumau backing up with the AK that he saved from the previous round. Watching out from the defensive on the B site with several players to meet him down as secret.
He's been a madman when the Deagle's been in play, but Henny with his aggressive maneuver out towards that ramp position gets caught off by the lurk, and the AWP's already seen dumau out for the double doors. We've seen him play this angle before, but he's actually starting to relocate in the bomb side, and faveN's met the aggressive hub maneuver.
Yeah, nice shoulder bait from latto to get his specific positioning. Meanwhile, dumau's fallen back. Can't really receive assistance because they're so focused on this lurker upstairs that Big could storm the B site. They've gained that start. They just need to overwhelm the solo defender. But they're not even going to do that. They make their way back upstairs out towards garage. Want to play the A site.
Yeah, GODSENT giving a lot of respect with the map control, and now tabseN's just toying with them, just opening up the single door, pulling that distraction. GODSENT have still got a lot of players towards upper. 2 at closed vent, actually.
This could be the bait and switch player that they might not be expecting. Unless they Molotov that position, they have got tabseN on a Molotov himself. Where is he at, though? I don't think he's in the right place to put it up behind the squeaky door. No, he's coming in from heaven, so he's going to hard get the position as faveN swings out, gets the kill. Barton unknown until now, and still the kill comes back for faveN. Taco takes 2 back, and he drops that bomb in heaven as well. He's on his own flank, and that might have just secured the round itself. No one from Big can get back there, so syrsoN and faveN are set to save, and GODSENT finally string 2 in a row.
Hero moments coming through for Taco. That's huge, because you've lost 2 players that were playing in closed vent instantly. They were expecting in that sort of situation, okay, we're going to face out a little bit wider, draw the attention, and then the heaven players aren't going to check us, and they do exactly that. That's a 5-on-3 position there for Big, and then what happens? Taco coming right up the ladder, denies that bomb, denies any chance of the round going the way, and now this economical turmoil continues for Big.
I have to force around it as well, because that's 2 rounds in a row they've had to save a weapon or 2. In this case, 3 of them. Deagle on tabseN, faveN, and syrsoN with their AK AWP combination and a quick play in towards the A site, it feels like. Latto's going to catch tabseN off first and foremost ahead of the smoke, but a flash bangs in as the AK makes his way around the corner. Latto caught in the reload, but dumau with the Deagle strikes right back, trying to catch faveN at point blank, but can't quite make it turn around against the AK. A 3 versus 3 instead. Bombs downstairs and will get planted.
Yeah, rotations are slow. faveN out towards a closed vent. He's still doing damage, and this is wasting time. Up to the heaven play. He's still done a lot of damage onto Henny.
Lost that AK though, so it's up to an AWP and a P250 to fend off the retake. A 2 versus 2. Henny is extremely low though, so if tabseN meets the right player at the right time, then that could be the difference maker. But with him being upstairs on the outside, with Taco backing up away from ramp, I think GODSENT are calling in the save.
Yeah, they might just be looking for exit frags here, because they know if we drop any more players, we might keep the AWP out of reach. We're going to force buy in the next round anyway. Definitely a kill onto tabseN looks likely.
That could have been knife, perhaps? Nah. It felt like he was going to do that. And honestly, at this stage, it would be an economical benefit because both teams' economy basis is in the toilet. There's virtually no loss bonus here. The money investment from both Big and GODSENT means that both sides are going to be on a harsher buy. Big recognize that. Tactical timeout used because they've got to break this cycle. They've got to pull away and gain some momentum here.
This has just been very scrappy again for both teams, and they won't be happy with how the starts come through because you've seen moments from both perspectives. GODSENT putting the hurt on, and then Big doing exactly the same, but neither team really capitalizing on round streaks and conversions after one another to start pulling rounds in a chain. I see they're up on screen. GODSENT, their coach behind them of Chunky to see if they can find the response. Krimbo, maybe thinking not about it. And Big trying to get as much out of this first half as possible because really, both teams in this event, Jay, have lacked heavily on their T side.
The CT side of Nuke in particular has always been the fantastic one for both teams. So a T-half could make the difference. Big keeping pace with GODSENT for now. Both teams, again, heavy buying into this next round. SMGs coming out as Deagle for tabseN over on the GODSENT side. Taco aggressive here. Caught off by tabseN as he swings out in the open yard, getting that pick back. The AK of Penny can strike to return, but tabseN with a blind kill through smoke. Also sees dumau, who returns damage but takes some in kind. 4 versus 3.
Yeah, GODSENT playing 3 players aggressive towards their outside position. The trading game not working through them. The aggressive play into Squeakdoor, though, brings it back to a 3v3. And the information's already there that there's mass players to the back of T-Red.
Still 2 players tagged up for GODSENT, so easy trade to big if they can find dumau and latto. tabseN's the only real trading concern for them. Krimbo seen above that smoke, though. Smart use of the utility for him. And the FAMASA dumau comes up with another good casualty. An advantage now for GODSENT. TizzYen forced to make a play, and indeed he does against that player. So back to a 2v2 we go. Constant back and forth. The trading game from both sides. The flanking game from faveN. Unawares of it are the big side. And they lean in towards that A side. It's only latto to hold off against them. Got to line up 2 kills with the SMG. TizzYen seen first. tabseN's right behind him. Gets that trade as well aware of faveN. He heard that footstep back on top of Mini. He can grab the bomb and go to the B side.
Get down towards that faveN, even going silently. Now going to start that run forward. faveN's going to recognize the play. Does tabseN fake it or get the bomb down?
Here's him coming in towards the vent. And here's the footsteps out towards Decon. Door opened up. faveN wrapping over tabseN. Looking to the left as faveN's not speaking to the right. The shoulder seen. But the AK spray better for the CT player. Comes up with a lead for GODSENT.
Very well achieved there on the recovery too. It feels as if this is a common trait for GODSENT on the City side, is that they're kind of struggling with opening man advantages, but recoveries have actually been very decent. You think to that outside position, not a lot of success is being found. That's a 4-on-3 position for Big. The way that you're able to work around the smoke, try and find that impact. And then, of course, faveN finds himself in an odd position. He's towards the top of Silo, and his teammates in Squeakdoor. There's going to have to be noise being made if he wants to get down to that main position, wins out the all-important clutch, gets that lead back over for GODSENT. But with the bomb plant going in, what do Big do? Of course, they buy it up.
It's a pretty strong force buy, especially when you consider it with the rest of the force buys we've seen so far in this matchup. Still can afford 2 automatic weapons, a scout, 2 deagles. It's very possible that Big can win this because they really wore down GODSENT's economy, not just in that last round, but in the rounds prior as well. No AWP brought to the table for the CT, so I don't think they bought one just yet. They might have saved one from Big earlier on in the matchup. Mostly now these automatic weapons is what they've been playing with. Towards the outside, the defaults are playing from Big. The Galil of tabseN in particular will lean forward, could be challenged by dumau.
Timing's going to be everything on that wrap play up from the top of Secret. They've got a deep player outside of Henny, so dumau can actually continue to play passive and just get an indication later into the round, peek his head up just to get if there's any coverage outside.
Hold position for the time being, 60 seconds remain. Taco getting out of dodge. Going back into the center of the site. It's very quiet from Big for now.
Lack of util for both of these teams when it comes to the later part of the rounds. No kits either for GODSENT. Ramp take down towards a lower bomb site with a late lurk outside.
Oh, Henny missing his shots, and tabseN punishes that mistake. A kill gets found. They could wrap to heaven, and that seems to be what they're going to be doing as well. 4 players backed up out of ramp control into lobby. faveN's hearing his footsteps. syrsoN lands a headshot on latto. faveN's got to get a trade back, and indeed he does. 4 versus 3. Big storm the site. syrsoN gets a no-scope headshot back towards dumau. faveN finally removes him from play. As the bomb gets planted, this will be a 2 versus 3. Make it 2v2. As Taco strikes back, look up towards heaven, dishing out some damage, but look at the bars from both sides. Big have a clear and definitive advantage, so they'll wrap these corners, get the kill against faveN, and Taco will follow suit.
I don't know what's going on in this map. Really, there's just wackiness every single round, and neither team's getting an advantage here. You could say that Big are grinding up the rounds on T side, and it doesn't really matter how the economy is or how the rounds are being won. At least they're keeping trait of putting as much pressure on that first half as possible. But really, look at these entries coming through from syrsoN. An important wrap kill as dumau starts coming up from that fence position. That looked like the defensive that GODSENT were going to hold, but the kill towards outside canceled the ramp plans and brought them back into A.
And once again, they'll equalize the scoreline at 4 apiece. So GODSENT, well, as is characteristic for this matchup, they've forced ball. I don't think we've seen a full eco, except for that one that Big stole in the 3rd round. GODSENT turning that 5-7 in of latto, getting Tizzy and tabseN wrapped around the corner, and they'll continue spamming forward on the AK, dishing out some damage. latto continuing to peek forward. Over gets out of dodge. Taco comes in with a flank, gets the next kill on tabseN, and faveN falling. A 4 versus 2 situation. They've got bomb control. Krimbo finally with a responsive, but he's on 2 HP.
He's so low, and even syrsoN catches the first, but
no!
To have the crossfire, the AK is going to come through, and there's no way Krimbo wins this. 2 HP in the 1v3 when they already know that he's up here for the team roof.
What is this match? What is this match?
That lobby crunch, it was late too, because it was the Hut players just toying with them, getting ever so aggressive. And then once they struck with a kill, that's when the ramp angle started opening up.
Well, this is the 5th round for GODSENT, to say the least. Krimbo, and recognizing he's got no chance, and I would respect the reckless play just to see if he can get anything out of it, but hold on to the M4. Big will concede it back to the GODSENT side, and another force buy has worked out. Another deficit on the basis of the economy has worked well for them. And again, Big have been decimated in these last few rounds. They've lost a number of players. So you can see the money line on the right-hand side of your screen, down to single round loss bonus. That they've got nothing to work with in round 10. But as is characteristic, they probably force buy. They probably bring it a 5-5. Like, at this point, it might as well just happen.
Yeah, it's... You're on double eco status again, aren't you, for Big? So you've got the M4A1S in, you're working with 1900 loss bonus, you got to buy it down. You can't eco in this sort of situation. And Big just know all it takes, well, both teams kind of know, all it takes is one decent round. That one good round that's going to break everything. And just remember, Jay, you kind of pointed it out there, the round, the single individual round that has made all of this possible was the one that was won with 4 Glocks and a Deagle. That round, because it got won, has now turned into this.
Back and forth force buys continuing to come through from Big and GODSENT. I expect to see this at tier 2, not in the Pro League. Big will take this straight to the front forward of round 10, and of course, the Eagles out for 3 players. M4 for Krimbo being the primary weapon to work with. Can he make a play? Can he find the opener and potentially the round with it? Leaning out towards Mini. Dumau's ready to receive. Flashes in from his teammates over towards the heavy health position. The spray through from Dumau picks him up. Can't get tabseN to respond.
And they're putting pressure towards the outside, and tabseN deals with Henny again. That duel in the outside quarter constantly is being won out by tabseN over Henny. Taco's going to get aggressive in from hell, waiting for a further continuation. That's pulled him away from ramp, and now faveN's taken the map control because of it.
That's if tabseN can pass that M4 off to a teammate like faveN or Tizzy, and faveN's with the rat
kill.
play though, and Taco has absolutely no idea. Headshot, 4v2, and it looks to go back to the favor of Big once again. bateN does find a kill onto faveN, at least trying to keep this competitive. They still have the weapon advantage here, but now they should be aware of where the majority of player presence is from this CT side. So into the B site they'll go, bomb plant down, M4 of Tizzy, and does get caught by bateN, so we're at an even standing for the retake.
Yeah, they've got to go for this now. Now they've been able to recover it to a 2v2. They need one of the T-side players to really overextend. And right now for Big, they're playing it cautiously. Very back passive. No one looking to take intent of actually engaging into fights on the post plant for them.
Low HP player with the M4 still lands in the headshot. latto trying to trade it back, and that rifle will just stick pretty and wait back behind the silo. latto's got no kit either, so he's going to have to fall back and save the weapon once again. Big will force out the issue with an outside player and a flank in from ramp room. 5 all to the board, and yeah, this match has gone some very ridiculous directions, hasn't it, Dweg?
Well, we've got to a state where we've realized outside is what Big are capitalizing on the most. That has been a weak point for GODSENT. Of anything around hell, ramp, garage, they just have not been able to do it. I mean, here's tabseN being able to get a double entry, and then once you position yourself up onto the rafters in the post plant in a 2v2, when you're wasting as much time, you're going to be able to close out the round. GODSENT put themselves in a state where they have to buy again, and we get tied up at 5-5. Big, they've got to be happy with at least putting 5 rounds on T-side at this point onwards, and could go for more.
They can take control of this matchup from here, then that would be a positive entity. Diagonal smokes in from the T side towards the outside control, but only one player working in from red box. syrsoN Scout is hoping someone's ahead of the blue box or credit card. Nobody is, though. The CT is very passive on outside, hoping to hold in center of the sites themselves.
Henny with the Deagle a little bit more pressed up this time around towards that ramp angle. Taco down into the vents as well, waiting for that drop, and dumau focusing his attention towards that secret angle. And Big, even though it's getting closer to a minute on the clock, and they've been quite pacey, they've been taking a lot of the space towards outside, it's more on the passive angle this time around.
Slow and steady. Entry taking the outside position. They'll pass utility and weapons back and forth. Very little info given up to the CT side. They might still be making a bit of noise out here right now. Footsteps and Molotovs sent in. The CTs will try just towards it. latto gap in the smoke, trying to catch off somebody, but Krimbo reads it, gets his kill in, and they continue the outside campaign. Up towards hell is where they'll go.
A lot of players towards top site, though. This is actually a pretty good read by GODSENT, stacking through, and Big have got to get a move on. Check out the time, Jane. There's only 20-odd seconds left.
They can capitalize upon the panic of Big, then GODSENT can still steal this round and continue to force by war of attrition. Deagle and Taco tap in. Barton's spamming with the SMG. Taco does find tabseN. Burns alive to syrsoN's Molotov. And now the bomb gets planted, or does it? Yes, it does. tabseN just bails out his teammate, and dumau in a 1 versus 3 will now lose a round back to GODSENT. They've finally broken the streak on Big. And this might be the first true eco from the CT side.
That was so close. That was so close to another round by GODSENT. Henny trying to get the other player down before focusing his attention onto the bomb planter. And for Big, that was not an easy site take at all. They struggled with some of the trades, came down to 6 odd seconds left before the bomb finally get it planted. And GODSENT using this as just a USP round, and an eco. Feels fresh.
The first time in a long time.
Is it going to be a steal, though, like Big's?
Don't jinx it.
Oh,
Do
well.
not jinx it. No.
You never know. You never know.
Outside smokes don't extend all the way to allow tabseN to lead in against Henny, get that kill. latto's been found by syrsoN to start things off, so it looks like it will be a sensible eco, and Big will take control of the situation. 5 versus 3. The only damage been done towards syrsoN here, so the rest of the rifles can just step up to the table, get the sight, get the round.
And dumau's going to be able to backstab on the tabseN. The timing as the spin comes through. And now to Taco from the ramp position to try and see if anything is possible. Get up into heaven, drop one of the low HP players, put some dampener on how much money can be saved into the next round. Overall, though, for Big, very promising anti-eco, not fluffing anything up, and giving themselves a lead of 2.
I think that's 3 rounds on the trot as well for the Big side, which is the longest round streak we've seen so far in this matchup. Surprising to say the least.
Ooh,
very
okay.
nice stuff from syrsoN. They kick things off on the right foot. I didn't see that kill, of course, on my side of things, so just watching that in the replays is actually pretty impressive and respectable. To see the door closing as well, it was information given up by latto there, so a bit of his own fault. Either way, anti-eco done with the GODSENT out towards the main rifles brought in by them, all 5 M4s. And lobby default from the T side.
A lot of util already being used by that GODSENT side, and still in a position that they can't get the AWP out for Henny. dumau towards the outside trying to play around these smokes. Steals the first, doesn't know about the player in main though.
Yeah, just unawares of tabseN, couldn't expect him. Barton can try and back in as he pushes out towards that lobby control. latto on the site sees tabseN at the edge of the smoke. So now a 4 versus 2 gained by the CT forces. tabseN looking to try and back in. Taco caught outside, just outside of heaven as well. syrsoN working in towards the top of the mini position. tabseN's got to be the playmaker here with the M4 out with the advanced angle, with directive challenging onto the CT side. The question, the concern is going to be the HP here.
And the direction of where they bring the bomb to. You're working with some outside control. You try and get deeper towards hell, bring that bomb back over to an A-split. Ramp starts getting opened up. That might be the direction, but for GODSENT's point of view, they're now clearing out lobbies. They've already got the indication from Taco playing in heaven that there was presence outside, and there seems to be some furthermore.
For leaning in, Barton's going to catch that kill. syrsoN now back up towards CT spawn. Might be best to fall all the way back into CT spawn. I mean, Henny is covering it, so he's considering the option. syrsoN's got to check all of heaven. Timing is perfect for Henny. Gets his kill together and brings the deficit back to 1 here for the GODSENT side. Their rifle round going respectable, but Big have enough money to rebuy.
This has got to be a good feeling for Henny, because obviously he's struggled so far in the city side, but also keep in mind, he's never had the big green. This is the first time him getting the AWP and it's round 14 of the first half. That just shows how much economy wreckage there has been with those back and forth force buys, that Henny, the primary AWPer on this team, hasn't even had a chance to get the sniper through. That was at least a free one from faveN.
Shots in at the AWP. Henny trying to get that opening kill out towards Squeaky Door. Well, smoke getting in the way, so we can't land an accurate shot towards tabseN's position. The hurt up and the HP advantage, they did come in early for the big side. Nothing major though, no casualties taken.
Yeah, Big just toying with this outside position. The AWP might be able to gather the first kill onto dumau. It all comes down to how wide the angle's being exposed and how dry they actually take some of these duels outside.
I think Henny thinking about slinging to the outside control as well, which would be a nice AWP battle between him and syrsoN. Smoke being set up behind the red box with teammates involved and all. Mao ready to receive. We'll see the flashbangs coming over, and the smoke's also down from the T-side line. A counter smoke in will block off vision from both sides. syrsoN's AWP not seen above the smoke, or those pixels away from doing so. I think they're both seeing each other now. Sprays through tabseN, catches an angle and catches the kill.
A couple of players to peek from faveN and Hell, though, to work with one another. Barton, how much can he get out of this one? Not quite the second. And tabseN and tabseN are just working together. Latto's been seen. Henny's aggressive out from the squeak door position, too.
Latto's fallen back right into the hands of faveN, gets his headshot. Henny in the 1 versus 4, backed up towards Squeaky Door. I don't know if they're aware of his position. That bomb's going to push him towards Hell. The shot now ringing out means that they can go to the B side safely. Only 20 seconds of the clock for Henny to stay alive or to try and get some exits, and he can't do either of them. faveN overwhelming with a Glock, getting the 8th round of the half for Big.
What's really scary here is that for GODSENT, they have a 29.3% round win percentage on T-side in Nuke in the last 3 months. And you think about how their city side has come through and how many exploitations have been made on their defensive line. Going into the second half, this could be incredibly rough for the Brazilians.
Now 1-4 spy that close out the half on round 15 and make it look just as rough as what that second half could well do. Eagles on 2, Mag 7, the MP9 for dumau. M4 for Henny being the best weapon. Spraying through early, catching Krimbo to 75. That's the extent of the outside control here for the CT side.
They're desperate for an advantage, and with tabseN so far forward, it actually could be a promising position to drop that bomb, to try and get him uncomfortable in from the garage position. He's already on 28 points of health.
Yeah, awkward engagement against latto. Not quite as confident as the T-side players like it to be. syrsoN does land on latto eventually. And he being alone. M4 up against 2. Could wrap that corner. No, tabseN gets the kill instead. dumau's just waiting in its secret for more players to face him. A 5 versus 3, gaining nothing at all. Taco on the way back in. Eagle up against it. Spotting nothing. faveN does get picked up by Barton next. That's a decent response, but tabseN with a fast response. So 4-on-2 situation. Big have full control.
I think that's the 5th time this first half that we've actually seen tabseN win out that fight onto Henny outside. And with that in mind, the control coming through, the speed to that lower bomb site, Barton's got to try and rotate out from ramp, but he's not sure. Is it A? Is it B? What's the direction?
Back and forth several times. The Molotov's going down in towards the ramp control, indicated it is going to be the B-side play. Barton's making no qualms about his retake position. Does catch tabseN at least. That's one good frag, but an opponent's creeping in against him. tabseN from the left-hand doorway. Peeks up, gets the headshot as Barton's so focused to the right. So indeed, it will be 9-6 for Big to close out the half. A wonderful T-side for them, and it could get rougher for GODSENT as we head to the break and find out how they fare in T-half.
Yeah, we had a good start in Katowice and lost the others because like we did a lot of mistakes. We lost a lot of anti-ecos and we like had some small issues during the game, and yeah, after that we just rewatched the demos and tried to fix our mistakes. And now with a new guy, we have a new lineup, and we will see how we perform now. But yeah, I would say like we fixed a lot of mistakes that we did in Katowice, and hopefully we do better now here.
There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, 'cause when I'm coming is to win. From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me, but I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm #1 like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you breach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to.
At least it's not their map pick. It is GODSENT on Big's choice of Nuke. As a whole, though, it has been disappointing to think only 6 rounds were gained. And now going into this T side, this is where things can really get difficult from them. Kevlar across the board for the CT side. There is some util for Taco, and it seems to be quick towards ramp.
2 players to try and meet them, Krimbo and syrsoN holding back their positions. Krimbo's going to get overwhelmed. syrsoN undetected. tabseN rotating in from hell. He goes falling next, and they think they're completely safe. The backstab holds itself together as a headshot comes in for syrsoN. Barton detects it. First to fall down to the T sideline. A 4 versus 3 bomb plant should be secured. faveN up in the corner, catches Henny, but can't get latto. syrsoN responds. 2 versus 2, and now tabseN's taking position up, and syrsoN gets Taco next. He's found himself a triple, and latto's alone trying to pop open a gap in the doorway, pop open that damage, and try to see if he can force the issue out against the bomb defusal position. syrsoN's head seen first. tabseN seen the back line. syrsoN just getting in the way. The headshot lands. latto can't get a second player. Forced on the reload. 10 seconds for the defuse, but tabseN gets it in the end. Manic stuff for the pistol, but it goes the way of Big.
Wild stuff happening again. GODSENT getting the pace forward, doing incredibly well with the trading game right up until that bomb went down, and that's when Big was able to get faveN out from the double doors to get that 1-for-1. The aggression of the retake out from ramp position really set himself up for syrsoN, and then tabseN's just trying to hold the 10-second defuse, have his teammate to be the bait and switch. As soon as he loses his teammate, knows he has to go for the fight, wins out that headshot almost instantaneously, gets back onto the bomb, gets the 10th round for Big. But guess what, Jay? 4 players down, bomb plant, GODSENT are going to buy, of course they are.
Been the game of 4 spies, so are you shocked? I personally am not. Galil's in, no AKs for them, unfortunately. 3 Galils out at the very least. So there's a lot of firepower on the automatic part of the things. The Mac-10 also in for Barton, and syrsoN caught towards outside. Seen by the player up at Silo.
syrsoN does not know how much presence is out there towards the back of T-Red, so has to be careful about how wide he exposes up into the angle. And now with these outside smokes, GODSENT, rather than getting garage control, are just going to fly down into secret.
Mac-10 straight in as the forward player. Only really one to receive them in the rafters of the B site. tabseN ready to wait and receive. Gets Barton, leads in the second player. dumau gets that trade. Krimbo in for the responsive. Taco gets it back to a 3 versus 3 though. GODSENT holding their own, but only for so long. dumau and Henny, last 2 players remaining. Now Henny alone out towards Old Toxic. 1v3 scenario. Should try and split the bomb plant. We'll tap it once. Trying to force out some more kills.
If he can get this bomb down, they can buy again, but at the same time, he doesn't want to get spammed through the smoke. He's trying to draw the low HP player out to that left-hand side, but Big just aren't peeking.
And onto the right, with the double doors. Not seeing anything. Might see something soon, though. faveN just slowly closing in the pincers. Now Henny's been seen. He can go out towards Decon door instead. Henny might actually meet him right there. And get a frag for it. Buy rotation positions back into the A site here. He can still get the bomb down.
Yeah, absolutely, but the molly up towards heaven, but he's going back down to lower. What he doesn't know is Krimbo hasn't rotated off of the bomb side at all, Jay.
Yeah, smart call for Big. Low HP for Krimbo, though. We hear those footsteps. Henny looking the wrong way, out in the open. He'll try plant for it, and Krimbo decimates him in hole. So no bomb plant this time. Forced by loss for GODSENT. By extension, and eco for GODSENT as well.
Overcomplicating the play in that sort of one. You go up into the vents, you put the incendiary down towards heaven, you get a bomb plant. You could buy next round. And when you're looking at 6-11 as a deficit, you want to get as much damage and as much out of that round as possible. For Krimbo, that's probably the biggest round that we've seen from him when it comes to high impact. He ended up with a triple and was the round sealer.
Deagles and P250 out for GODSENT. 1 Glock for latto, so for all intents and purposes, an eco round. Deco, if you want to be really specific, and he does land that Deco shot onto syrsoN. That's a decent start. tabseN's M4 must have respond towards them, dishing out some damage to the return. Nothing more than that. tisyN turns around a frag. faveN follows suit onto latto, so 4 versus 3 big have regained control.
And they've still left that bomb towards the outside, so even with this pick coming through from Taco, they're not able to get the bomb plant straight away towards upper. Rotations now from heaven to now trying to get this kill outside, and now it's back to a 2v2.
tabseN forced to trade back on Taco. Missed a player diving in from vent, so there should be a plant up here. At least some bonus cash for the GODSENT side, and the flank also coming into the ramp from. It's a case of timing and how quickly dumau leans in against the incoming CT, forces the challenging barton already, getting that kill back. So then he's going to attack back into the vents, making no qualms about his position. They'll go onto the smoke. The fue's being stuck. Krimbo hits the headshot, and Big take 3 on the trot to open the half.
Fair play to GODSENT in that round. You're not working with much. You haven't upgraded heavily. Instead, it's been a light eco. You're able to get 3 kills, disrupt the money building for Big, and get a bomb plant. From GODSENT's POV, you'll be very happy with the damage that gets equivalated. The factor is now, can they do anything with that? Can they strike on the T side? Because if they don't strike now, they might not have opportunities to do so, and the map's going to get taken away from them.
AK's back in for the GODSENT side. Their first real amount of offense against Big. Chance available for them. The AWP is out for syrsoN once again. He's going to creep very far forward for it. Who's he going to see? What's he going to find here? tisyN ahead of the smokes. The AWP does fire back ahead of it. Tries to sneak into the smoke. Seeing Henny, but not hitting the shots. The opening frag goes the way of the T side.
tabseN flashing, looking for that response. That's important. As soon as they realize there's an opportunity of getting that AWP, tabseN declines that and can now pick it up in the smoke, so Henny's got nothing to work with, or anybody else on that team for the matter.
Yeah, great reaction from him. 46 HP though, so in this 4 versus 4, GODSENT have the advantage.
Krimbo's aggressed at ramp too, so if there's a ramp take to come through for GODSENT, they're going to have to clear out this right-hand side, which they might not at all.
Slow walks into the outside control. Let's see what tisyN can do with it. Held back at secret, as you can see there on the minimap. A little bit of information as well. Smokes out to the red box across. One of them in play at least. The second one will come down. Flashes in, but they're going to go to the force side rather than the back side, so tisyN hasn't got any vision at all.
This is clever though. They know that it can't be an outside play at all. tisyN going to work through the smoke. How much does he get? Just 1.
latto quick to respond, and dumau enters onto the site. faveN getting caught by it. tabseN's orb gets latto before he burns alive, so it's all left to Krimbo. Back towards Squeak Door. Nice lane in. That should get dumau to fall. Where's Taco? 1 versus 1. Inbound from lobby, making quite a lot of noise, and Krimbo can hear him. Back up all the way in towards Squeaky Door. Can't defend the bomb forever, so Taco can still pick this up. Try to get the plant down, but he's hunting for the kill. 10 seconds. Krimbo has got to try to take the fight against Taco, but he loses it. The veteran in that duel wins out an all-important round for GODSENT.
A very good effort there by Krimbo to know, I've got to play the time, get back to safety, swing out once he hears those footsteps, but just can't find the marker with those last couple of bullets. And for GODSENT, that was all important because that keeps them in the map. That holds their chances of survival. And now for Big, when we think about what the eco did and now losing that rifle round, you want a light eco. You can't have investment in round 20.
Yeah, USPs and P250s, they'll look towards round 21 where the guns can come back out for them. A little bit of cash saved in for the time being. But we have seen these kind of eco rounds go the way of Big so far in this matchup. Again, I call back to the 2nd or 3rd round where they had that return from GODSENT. Tried to go full eco except for 1 deagle and try play into that. 2 equivalent with 2 P250s. Work into downstairs angle and a big stack in from Big. They can actually receive them here. Look at the X-ray. Barton has no idea what he's about to face. Wrap that corner. This should be at least 1 kill. They get 2 for it.
Oh, they might be able to get more out of this. Henny making sure that nothing is going to get regained and that bomb's just going to charge into A. 2 AKs getting picked up. Big can actually go for the approach of 2v2. Let's throw ourselves at this.
No Kevlar to work with, though, and no kit to speak of. Of course, the kill comes in for Taco, and that should throw the entire play off. Maybe tisyN gets an exit, but his best bet is to hold on to the AK for the next round. A little bit of bonus, which might help guys like Krimbo, who is still on $1,700. Only a 2nd round loss bonus coming into effect in the next one. 1900 to flow into the bank account is not enough to go for a definitive buy for his part, so an extra rifle will be all important to Big in the long term. So tiziaN falls back to Secret, he'll save.
Yeah, he would have been forced down onto a FAMAS or an MP9 in the situation. So, like you mentioned, with one of those rifles being held in, it gives a slight upgrade over to Krimbo. And for GODSENT, they unfortunately run into the stack. There's not a lot of information in that. Big will be very happy with the amount of damage that can come through. And tiziaN not going to get hunted. Both T's backing off to the spawn area. Wonder if an AWP is going to get brought down. tiziaN's got enough to buy the armor and chuck one over, but yeah, they will actually. Oh, actually, he's $600 short, so he's going to have to go glass cannon with the AK.
And even despite saving that weapon, you can see the limitations on effect for Big, so how important that rifle truly was to their buy here. You can see it. The AK is going to get passed off to tabseN instead as a result, because he has got Kevlar. The aim punch will not harm him, and he can remove a lot of the helmets from the GODSENT side. syrsoN will be the first port of call towards the outside, though. Backing up alongside tabseN. They see the flashes and smokes coming in, and they decide not to challenge GODSENT directly.
Now, just knowing that you've got no armor to work with would have told in that round how much they want to get out of the AWP and how much impact syrsoN can possibly find going into round 21. You can have a look at the money state in the reserve for GODSENT. There's not much that's really been farmed up with the last couple. faveN playing towards that top of hut position. Got a teammate nearby him with that AWP prodding around an aggressive play. Even outside, Big are giving free range and a lot of respect over.
Windows popped open for Krimbo, trying to put the incendiary ahead of the smokes. Tap forward, dishing out some decent damage, but a couple of tags. tabseN might have heard his own blind sprays will go awry, and the CTs are forced to adjust. tiziaN and Krimbo make their way back downstairs into ramp. We'll hear the double doors opening up. Krimbo gets that one frag for it. tiziaN unknown to dumau, so a kill comes in alongside syrsoN strike on the outside. Taco dealt with a 4 versus 2. Big holding control of the defensive, and GODSENT will try prod back at the B site rather. 35 seconds. Flashes in, smokes going down, and Henny trying to peek out the window, but to no avail. latto out the double doors might find a bit more success, but there's all sorts of CTs surrounding him. As tabseN gets the kill back, it's all left to Henny, dealt with by tiziaN. As Big take 13.
What you'll notice in that round too is that because GODSENT get halted out to the double doors, it doesn't continue putting pressure onto the anchor hold. It doesn't make tiziaN have to fight out into the open and make it uncomfortable. Instead, it buys time for those rotations, for tabseN to get back into ramp, to be that supportive element, and for Big really being able to strike towards that top side play to give themselves the information to work down with how many players were going down from that secret angle. And GODSENT now looking at the precipice of perhaps this map rolling over without them getting double digits. Can they put up a strike right at the end here?
It's entirely possible. They've taken a tactical timeout. What is the adjustment that GODSENT will make here? What can they do to try and trump Big and try and beat them out on the opposing half of their own map pick here? See earlier that Big also took that time to have a discussion of their own right. They've got a game plan the same. GODSENT have got to be a little bit better on the execution, on the game plan itself. The AWP, of course, on the outside, and a forced buy-in for GODSENT will not try and play in the eco basis. Mac 10, Tech 9, Tech P250. A Leo and AK to play with on a rifle basis.
And already you've got ramp being siphoned off by Krimbo, just jiggle peeking around, catching some early information. tabseN getting flashed outside, acting immediately onto Taco, and they're just falling back to safety, maintaining the man advantage, getting the AWP quite wide in garage.
Wonderful flick, and what a shot that is to remove the AK and all. Could get picked up by dumau still. He's got head Kevlar in this one. syrsoN firing back with the AWP, but they've still got aggressive tabseN who gets his second kill. dumau in with a decent response to the AWP. Flick connecting a leg shot, but losing his life. So a 3 versus 3 situation. latto trying to lean in with the P250. And these GODSENT have got a couple of picks back to an even man standing, and they turn it into a round.
Big getting overzealous towards the outside position, perhaps too hungry in that scenario of just constantly over-peaking, and it's now forced them back into a 3v3. Getting out towards a squeak door position could be very tough with the crossfire being set between tiziaN and from faveN in main. GODSENT have got quite a bit of util to work with in this peak, and they actually deal with faveN.
Challenging the next player of tiziaN, and he's forced to fall back as Krimbo continues the backstab, being silent about it, but the T's are making their way in fast. tiziaN's going to stand and fight, gets 2 kills for it, might be forced to make a triple happen, a spray through from dumau, not quite capitalizing. 20 seconds and Krimbo allowed to make a little bit further progress. tiziaN probably gets caught off guard right here, but the last man becomes all important. Krimbo in from hot, the Molotov's up towards heaven. dumau has absolutely no idea what's coming into his backside, and it's Krimbo with his kill with the 14th round for big.
And that clutch for Krimbo has so much more impact than that previous 1v1 that got lost over against Taco, because think about the situation that Big find themselves in now. 14-8 on top of the economy game, no bomb plant there for GODSENT, and that was a force buy. That really cripples all of the money state. Very well held by tiziaN. Krimbo, the youngster, would have felt so much more confident after getting that round forward. Another tactical here for GODSENT, and what do you go? 2,900 loss bonus. That hero AK might just be the maximum they get.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Another tactical taken. What could be going on in the comms for this side? What could they be saying at this moment, at this juncture? 2 rounds for Big to take control of this map, their own map pick. A lot of work needs to be done here by the teams, and it seems to be only that hero AK. Blocks in for everyone else. A P250 pulled out by Henny. No Kevlar outside of the AK. And Big should take this in whole.
And more pressure being applied early round towards ramp, something we haven't seen GODSENT do a massive amount about. And Krimbo playing there with the smoke down means that Taco's going to have to cancel. Think about going back in towards a lobby play, towards top site. And if there's any round where hero rifle needs to show up, it's got to be this one.
Slow and steady. Slow and careful from GODSENT. Gonna set Taco into a decent kill position. He gets Krimbo. Okay, that's a start. That's 1 man down. 1 more rotating into the B site backline. tabseN in from the double doors themselves. Here in the window, pop open, expecting T-side players to make their way in from that. Flashbang forward, the double doors open up, and he can't quite deal with Taco. He goes in for a secondary pick. tiziaN forced to rotate away. A 5v3, and that hero AK might have done his work.
This is going to be a save call for Big. Just back off, 3v5, nothing he could do against it. Henny even recovered one of those AKs down from that held position. Taco, very clever. He puts himself on the floor, but opens up the windows, and you can see there for tabseN, his focus on the attention is the wrap to come through from the observation window. Instead, the double doors open up. There's a flash in play. Taco gets a double kill. What a force weapon to work with on an AK when that was the only investment in the round.
In the hands of the right player for the job, it seems. 2 rifles picked up on latto and Henny as well, so extra investment relief from the T-side. Not what they need at this stage. Big certainly do, though. Double eco for tabseN, $2,800 for Krimbo. No money on the other 3 CT players to drop them. They buy it back, which they most likely will do so. It's going to be a very lopsided investment and a very lopsided setup.
Well, they know at the same time there's only a couple more rounds to play with. And with 3 weapons being saved in and that double eco punishment, you have to force it down. Another tactical by GODSENT. That was a real hero round to come through from Taco. But now they probably realize, okay, let's calm it down. That was quite good. Let's get some impact being found by the coach and what they want to try and achieve.
Taken 3 in the last 5 rounds. Hammers respite once again to discuss things, figure things out. They're still on the comeback. They still have 5 to make up against Big. It's not impossible for GODSENT. It's just extremely difficult.
And keep in mind, too, for Big, the last 2 officials that we've seen from them here in the group have not been able to close out a map pick. It's always come down fairly close when it's Vertigo against players or Vertigo again against the Bobby Star Riders. The closing factor may be an issue here as well. 5 rounds to work with in the lead. Odd shot kind of buy. You want to try and get as much impact out of it as possible. And that starts putting pressure onto the riflers to strike early.
Downstairs to tabseN into the vent dive. latto catching syrsoN. The AWP picked up early. Damage on towards tiziaN as well. Henny's going to hear that and he'll call it into his teammate. There's definitely a player out there. tabseN also caught on the way out, grabbing that AWP once again. Escaping to the outside control to try and contest.
Now, they might try and fight outside, get that secret player up involved, and allow the AWP to go slightly wider on the angle. That's what Henny's expecting and waiting out from this Africa position in case there is some further intent. When it comes to support, you've got some players around, few smokes starting to fly through. Not a full commitment on the outside, though.
60 seconds, it's slow and careful again from GODSENT. Has been characterizing their entire T side thus far. Utility ready to go towards the upper side as the execution comes in. Taco first right out, faveN can deal with him. Line up a second kill onto bateN, but not quite finish off the job. bateN finding tabseN, tiziaN ahead of the flames, gets his kill. bateN extremely low, should be dead to rights. Henny gets caught out towards Mini, and Krimbo can hold on, but the Molotov with the kill on latto will just about clutch the round for GODSENT.
Exactly what they needed in that top side split. Things start getting awkward with the crossfire. There's some low HP players, but another molly gets chucked out from the back there of default. The crossfire comes through. The 1v2 is allowed. And now for GODSENT, you start really thinking about, is this comeback on, Jay? This is a few rounds in a row. They're starting to work with the play. They're able to get some of these clutches forward. And for Big, that was the opportunity to get to 15. Now, they've got to eco.
Yeah, GODSENT have found a big momentum swing, found their footing in this matchup. Could extend that lead a little bit further. Henny did get tagged up initially to 5 HP, but Krimbo's fallen for it. Tiz in the open bend corner. Losing his teammate, holding back in the most passive corner. All his teammates are falling. He does get an exit frag, trying to dish out some damage to latto as well, but nothing major in this one. The AKs overwhelm the pistols, and it will be 11 now to GODSENT board. 3 on the lead for Big, and the guns are back in for the CT side.
You sort of wonder at what point or another do we see a tactical coming through from Big. We've obviously seen GODSENT bring quite a lot of them through, especially in this second half. And Big have been on 14 for a little while now. 3 rounds in a row for GODSENT to work with. See if they can get it ever more. syrsoN going to get that big green through. Haven't seen much AWPing from Henny on the T side. It's been mainly rifles at the point.
Flashes, smokes in, very quick execution out. faveN does get the kill. AK picked up for tiziaN, follows through to Taco. bateN at least one trade, but faveN's going ham. A 2K to his name and continuing to bear down upon latto. USP even pulled out with a second smoke, getting a bit more breathing room for the retake. A 4-on-2 advantage for Big. They've locked out the A sites.
We've seen some monster players coming out for both faveN and tiziaN when it comes to multi-frags. That time around, the shutdown out from the squeak door entrance. GODSENT just not being able to find the trades. And now for latto, we've seen him clutch. Can he do it again?
Sprays through against the wall of huts. Taps of latto, desperate to get anything out of the squeaky door as well, but nothing is coming his way. faveN's on for the triple. 33 HP, is that a sign? latto, not even thinking about the top of hut. Looking out towards Mini, checking the corners, checking the veds, checking the backstab. Not ready to commit just yet. 40 seconds. He's surely got to just try and win this clutch, right? Peek in, finally catch faveN. That's a start.
He needs to keep drawing fights because that bomb's dropped right into the open. And now with the AWP deep on the bomb site at default and that rotation in from heaven, they can just play together in the 2v1.
Walking forwards, player seen at heaven, or was he? I don't know if he was actually. latto jump facing against the AWP player. So now definitely been spotted, and heaven player will peek and get the kill together to make it map point for Big on Nuke, their own map pick. GODSENT have fought hard to bring this back on the T side line, but I think the journey might be over.
Excellent composure in that 3v1 as a whole for Big. There is a lot of time dwindling over to the last of latto, and they don't overface. They don't get too hungry in this scenario. Yeah, faveN gets caught off by the top of main, but they make sure they close it out. They make no one else fall in that situation. GODSENT using that last tactical, 4 more in a row to try and force it to OT. And we could definitely say that Big have been no strangers to the overtime. Quite a few of them coming through in their Pro League season so far. This time around, though, with them on front, they do not want to be pushed there.
Unlikely they get pushed there as well. GODSENT in the economy line prior to that round ending and how awkward it really was for them. They've got to take a serious moment to figure out how they're going to force the issue and get it back from these next few rounds. Specific to the setup in a moment's time here and find out exactly what they're working with for AKs. I don't see a 5th one dropped in spawn, so bateN's Deagle will have to be the limiting factor here. 4 to make up. That'll get us to OT. Flashes in initially towards the outside. Henny's going to try to challenge with the AWP. They have got a player pushed up initially, but they do fall back on the big side.
Yeah, Henny's waiting for a reface, some sort of jiggle towards outside, and unfortunately, it's actually his teammate towards the top of silo that gets domed by the AWP. Big, consistently finding opening man advantages towards outside.
Further utility thrown out in the ramp room, expecting players from GODSENT to make their way in, and there are a couple that are leaning towards that side of the map. syrsoN ready with the Taco leaning forward, catches that man, but they ultimately lose the fight on the T side. A 5v3 now for Big, and it's all coming unraveled now for GODSENT. Henny will try find a play back in towards Secret. That might be a bit of map control, but surely it doesn't lead to a round.
Taco's got to try and get into the vent somehow. Try and support towards that lower bomb side or pull a distraction, and they need some frags to over-rotate some of the CT players, work with this outside control, and Big are just not fighting. Henny can't find anything with the AWP because nothing's being presented in the duel.
The taps from latto. I don't get anything at this moment. The AWP of Henny leaning around the corner. latto will try join his teammates, maybe make some noise back over towards the T half of the map. York leans in, the jump face of the head. Seeing the player putting the nade back to position. Barton taking that bomb as well to task. But Big have got their adjustments. 26 seconds to hit.
Very slow here, and it might even be a regroup back to the upper bomb side. They lose latto, and now the last couple of players in for the vents have to try and strike immediately. One deagle kill for Barton, but that's going to be it. 16-11. Big close out their first map of Nuke, their map pick, and it came down to a difficult end, but they get the job done.
It was a respectable effort there from GODSENT towards the second half, considering how awkwardly that CT half had went. Dweg, you said that it was going to be a rough time, and it was looking like it was going to be a rough time from the start. But